Back to another episode of the Michigan Wolverines Dynasty. I made a mistake and simmed the UCLA game, which we dominated 44-14. Let's look at some stats for that game. Kevin Gallipo, 21-30, 316 and a touchdown. Rushing, Benjamin Halls, 8 for 68, 2 scores. Franco, 14 for 54 and a score. Cabana, 8 for 41 and a score. Receiving wise, Fred Moore had 5 for 86 and a score. But, you know, it is what it is. We got a bye week this week, then we play Penn State in the Big House, go to Rutgers, to Oregon, to Minnesota, home against Iowa, Michigan State, and Indiana. And then we play, of course, the big one on the road in Columbus this year. For a touchdown. Or for the game. This one in Columbus is going to be the biggest one, obviously. But we do still have to win the rest of these games going in. Some tough ones could be at Oregon, maybe at Minnesota. You never know how these two are going to play out. And then Michigan State shouldn't be a problem. But it might. You never know. So, let's take a look back at some scores and schedules in this bye week. Let's just take a look at the Big Ten. 0. Michigan State played against Notre Dame at Notre Dame and got demolished 22-14. Wisconsin lost at home against Pitt 28-24. Washington beat Washington State 37-21. Nebraska lost to Tennessee at home 37-34. UCLA lost 35-29. San Diego State and Ohio State beat Texas. Then in week 1, everybody played. All 18 teams played. Rutgers won. Ohio State destroyed Ball State. We destroyed Western Michigan. Penn State barely beat Marshall. Somehow. Iowa got by Northern Illinois. Nebraska got by Ohio. Indiana lost to Colorado State somehow. Michigan State got demolished by Toledo. Thank you, Toledo. Illinois beat Texas Tech on the road. That's a pretty good win for them. Northwestern found someone they could beat besides Michigan. Stanford beat Maryland on the road 44-20. And USC beat Fresno State 36-26. Boise State lost to Oregon again 42-28. Washington lost to Purdue 30-24. Minnesota lost 37-14 at home to Houston. Somehow they are still ranked going into this week because they're 3-1. Georgia destroyed UCLA, and Notre Dame destroyed Wisconsin. Week 2, Rutgers beat Boston College 31-23. Penn State lost to Temple 35-34. Mississippi State lost to Minnesota 24-21. Maryland lost to UConn 20-17. Michigan State finally found someone they could beat in Eastern Michigan, 33-18. Oregon defeated Ohio State again, 28-17. Iowa State lost to Iowa, 30-24. Texas demolished Northwestern. Illinois lost to Duke by 6. Indiana finally beat somebody in Ball State. Wake Forest lost to Purdue. Wisconsin beat up on UCLA. Nebraska beat Washington, and we destroyed Oklahoma. 2 weeks ago, Oregon beat Oregon State by 31. Nebraska beat Pitt beat Pitt 20 by 24. Maryland finally found someone they could beat in Virginia Tech. Michigan, we put up 63 against an FCS school and let up 21 points. Ohio State somehow lost to Kent State. Let's take a look at some of those stats. That game went to overtime, so it tells me that they were probably 3-6. Yeah, they went to 2-point conversions. And Ohio State lost. I just love seeing Ohio State lose. J.D. Sherrod, 19-26, 228, 3 touchdowns, and a pick for Kent State. Ohio State went 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But Air Nolan went 29 for 44 and 325. Through the air, on the ground, it was James Peoples, 18 for 38 and a touchdown. The Buckeyes. But still got Carnell Tate. Uh-oh. Penn State beat up on Buffalo. Washington beat USC somehow. Northwestern got destroyed by Colorado again. Kansas State lost to Rutgers by only 6 points, which is very interesting. Wisconsin beat up on Purdue. Baylor beat Iowa. And Minnesota beat UCLA. Last week, UConn destroyed Indiana. Missouri lost to Illinois. Minnesota defeated Akron 28-0. Ohio State somehow barely beat Nebraska. Rutgers, Northwestern was close, 24-21. Notre Dame beat Purdue 36-10. USC beat Mississippi 38-21. We beat UCLA 44-14. Oregon lost to Washington 35-14. And Wisconsin beat Iowa 32-25. So, and a look at the top 25 on this bye week. There's Bama, Georgia, Michigan, California, Tennessee, Florida, Oklahoma, UAB. That's surprising. Miami, TCU, USC, LSU, Oregon, Missouri, UCF, Florida State, SMU, Stanford's in here. They were number 5 before they lost to San Jose State last week. Jacksonville State, Texas, Syracuse, Virginia, who was 1 and 2 somehow and still yet in here. Boston College, Arizona, and Minnesota. So, the top 25 going over really well here. Look at the Big Ten standings. Wisconsin and Michigan lead because we've only played 1 conference game. Well, Wisconsin played 3 somehow early on this year. We do play. I think we do play Wisconsin later on this year. No, we do not, apparently. Actually, sorry. Oh, we did play Wisconsin, but we don't. Heisman watch. And Michigan's got nobody in there. But you see the guys here. Dante Moore, the quarterback from Oregon. So going into next week, Michigan undefeated. And there's our first commit, Taylor Radigan. Commits to the University of Michigan. I wonder if we're still in the running for one of our 5 stars. What do we want? Dora's not coming to Michigan. Neither is Breeze. Bohannon, Lawrence, and Charles aren't coming to Michigan either. Neither is Washington. Neither is either of the Washingtons. So, are we in the lead? So we're not in the lead for Wilkes, or LaFleur, or Landry. Jeez. Okay, so we'll exit that. But let's see how we do against Penn State. That will be the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, we moved up to number 1 in the country. Let's see what kind of craziness happened around college football. Score schedules back to week 5, and we're going to take a look at the top 25 and see what kind of craziness happened. Sam Houston and Jacksonville State had a close one. Syracuse barely beat UConn. Number 4 UAB destroyed Army. Remember, the rankings I'm saying are the current week's rankings. Texas A&M beat Tennessee. Ole Miss lost to Texas by 24 points. SMU lost to Florida State and won by 6. Virginia beat Ball State. So I guess they're not 1-2 anymore. They're not a losing record team. Minnesota beat Northwestern, moved them up to number 20. LSU beat NIU by 5. Indiana got destroyed by USC 45-3. Missouri defeated Georgia 35-29. Clemson defeated Bama. I wonder if that game went to overtime. It did. TCU got beat by West Virginia. Oklahoma defeated Florida. They're back up to number 3 after their embarrassing loss to Michigan by 14. South Carolina beat Kentucky by 3? By 7, sorry. And number 2 Cal beat Wake Forest 38-30. And Utah beat Arizona 42-36. And now to see where everybody dropped from. California rose all the way up from number 4 to number 2. Oklahoma rose from 7-3. UAB 8-4. Miami 9-5. Georgia dropped from 2-6. USC rose from 11 to number 7. Missouri 14-8 for beating Georgia. LSU from 12 to 9. Florida dropped from 6th to 10th. Bama dropped from number 1 to number 11. Oregon rose from 13 to 12. Florida State from 16 to 13. Tennessee from 5 to 14. Jacksonville State rose from 19th to 15th. SMU from 17th to 19th. You're seeing Texas finally made it back into the rankings. They play number 3 Oklahoma this week. Red River rivalry. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how that goes, how this goes. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little recap video and a look at some of the other things in this league. New conference standings. We are now behind Minnesota as well. So this game against Penn State's really important. Ohio State's over in 12th. F you, Ohio State. Whatever. I'll see you in the next video when we play Penn State as the #1 team in the country.